Hey, hello guys, I'm Jay and welcome to Trinity. So let's hop into Duel Link's deck tutorial, and this time going to introduce Shaddoll, the post Banlist Shaddoll. Well, this time we don't have any skill banlist, we don't have any skill nerf. So basically it's all on the card banlist, and it actually hit quite hard on Shaddoll, but still this doesn't make Shaddoll bad. Okay, Shaddoll still strong as hell and it is still tier 1. Okay, so currently this is how the deck looks like. Previously we have more OP Shaddoll and we are using the Subterror Behemoth, and Subterror, this the Subterror Behemoth, and we are using what the Sonic Jammer. This prevent opponent from playing spell. And then another is the Guard Dog. Basically it's the best one where your opponents cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. So basically all these cards are making Shaddoll very annoying and very powerful, but all these cards no longer usable because that Red Shadow is a must, and he has been limited to 1. Previously is playing with 3. So now Guard Dog, Sonic Jammer, I forget one more already that is prevent spell and traps. And then Subterror is no longer usable since all this is not going to do anything good. And then Super Poly is not playable in this deck anymore. Okay, so and then Red Shadow become 3. So you're not able to play any limit 3 traps at all. So basically this is how the deck looks like, and you are surely play with 30 deck cards. Okay, and the important changes here is to add in AD Changer. Well, AD Changer is additional to the deck. Yes, it is good because you can banish this card and change one monster on the field to the position. So you can flip down, flip up to trigger Shadow monster effect. Okay, and then the Puru Shadow Eons. Okay, this is to trigger the skill, because that if you have a normal trap cards, then you can send it to the graveyard. So you can send the Incarnation and 2 of the Aeons. Okay, so this Aeons is additional to trigger the skill. So here you are need to play with Shadow Construct, which is good for your turn 2. Okay, so because your turn 2 you can set additional monsters, so it's additionally let you go for the Shadow Construct. Okay, so you will for you to have extra combo extender, basically, because you can just search for your fusion and then use your construct to go for the El Shadow Construct, and then do all the combos and with the additional fusions to have extra monster. So I'll be explaining later on the deal part. So let's hop into this. So basically we have like a turn 1 and turn 2 play. So I'll be explaining how to do the combo. So basically the turn 1 combo actually is still the same like the previous. It doesn't really change much. The sequence is still the same. The end board will be IP and the IP, the gravity controller. Okay, so here easy, you will do all the combo to ensure that you're able to summon the El Shadow Construct. So go with the fusions, we got the light and the wind. So with that, go with the El Shadow Construct. El Shadow Construct, throw 1 card into the graveyard, and when they summon the aerial. Okay, and then Schism I put into the controller. Construct, I take back the Schism, activate the Incarnations, banish, flip the aerial, bring back the construct. I throw the H out. You can throw any cards, depend on the situation that you need. Okay, on this point, sometimes that if you need more traps back, you can throw the Shadow Call, the trap cards. So when you throw into it, then you can bring back 1 trap cards to the hand, and then when you link summon the construct, then you can get back another cards to the hand. So it's totally depend on the situation that what you need. So best is that you can set 3 because that depends on your hand. You might need the Aeon Construct, because Aeon Construct here is that you can power up your monster and discard 1 Shaddoll to the graveyard, send 1 to the graveyard. So maybe that if you have other Shaddoll, like Shadow Dragons or anything that you need to disrupt your opponent's backboard, so you can just use Aeon, power up, discard, trigger the effect to pop the back row. Okay, so construct, I get back the fusion, and then set 2, and then put 1 Squamata and enter. Okay, so with that, this is the perfect end board where you can disrupt your opponents as hard as possible. Okay, so basically this is the way. So you can use the schism, send, okay, and then send 1 monster to the graveyard with the same identical element. Then you can use the IP to take up 1 of their monster to go for the Underworld Goddess. So this is the first combo. So let's go on to the second combo. Okay. So this will be utilizing the construct, the link construct. Okay, so depends on the cards you have, and then you will be depending on the skill to put 1 more monster. Okay, so you use the skill, show 2, get 1 cards and set. So you are not using your Shadow Fusion over here. It's not the right moment. So I use the Squamata, destroy. So here I got 1 monster. So I just summon neither 1 of the monster, depends, and I go for the construct. Okay, why that I'm not using this? Because that I want to use this later on. So I will use the construct to go for the El Shadow construct. Okay, because here during your main phase, you need 2 flip monster. During your main phase, you can fusion Shadow extra using from the hand or the field as fusion material. Okay, and then this you can return it back onto the field as extra material later on. Okay, so I take and put the AD changer out and go for the construct. Okay, so construct, I throw the Wendy, I go for the aerial. So it's basically become the same combo back again. So I go for the gravity controller, and this I get back the Aeon, and then I go for the fusions. Okay, depends on the situation on your hand. So basically you will just need to add 1 more monster, or you just flip the aerial out or something. Okay, so you get additional for you to link into IP, and then you only use your Shadow Fusions, and you can straight go for the OTK if you manage to do it. So the second method actually is more complicated a bit. It's a big reroute back to IP, gravity controller plus a shadow, and attack and set everything onto the back. So this is basically the thing. So take it out, set. Okay, this is not the optimal board for turn 2, but still this is the way for you to do it when you will have extra Shadow Fusion, so you can summon out, and then actually you can straight go for the kill, because 2.8k 8 this 1k you can straight end board. Okay, so basically this is the 2 method of some of combo with Shaddoll. So let's hop into the battle and hope you guys enjoy, and if anything please comment down below, and then if anything that you feel that can improve on this deck, comment down on also, and remember to like, share, okay, and subscribe to Trinity. It's a support and appreciate. So hope you guys enjoy. So let's go.